He mentioned Boomerang, and I'm running off with a whole Sokka image in my head.
Sokka is a fighter.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on. Next one is arguably the most boring class in D&D 5e, the fighter.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Wow. Wow. God, even I had more respect for them than that.
Because here's the thing. In my opinion, yeah, they can hit more often, but everything that they do, in my opinion, the Barbarian can do a little bit better. They can tank better hits, and they can deal a bit more damage, I think.
That is where I 100% disagree. Now, for me, fighter was not high. They were still 9th. But fighter, they're okay in combat. They're nothing special, nothing to talk home about. Their roleplay ability, way higher than Barbarian. They're top notch. Anybody can be a fighter from anywhere. Your story is not tied to you being an outlander in the middle of the fields chasing down deer with your teeth and then getting really angry about not getting them, so you go punch a dude in the face. That's a Barbarian. But and then for versatility, fighters are a little more versatile than Barbarians. Barbarians can't shoot a bow. I mean, they can, but they're not getting the rage damage on it, so it's not as useful. What's
javelin. A boomerang, javelin. Yeah, you're not using a bow.
Yeah,
hold on.
Being able to throw 30 feet.
Hold on.
Is my thing.
Can one of us please make a boomerang fighter?
That would be.
He mentioned Boomerang, and I'm running off with a whole Sokka image in my head.
Sokka is a fighter.
Yeah, Sokka's a fighter.
But he was also dumb, so...
Well, they don't have to be dumb. The thing is, fighters also get Eldritch Knight, which helps in their versatility. They're more versatile than the Barbarian, so they just cover more area. That's why they're not honorable mention for me.
That's the
thing.
They're
still not high, though.
They have versatility and everything like that, but the thing is, for me personally, Barbarian is still higher because it can if you're gonna need something that's gonna tank a lot of damage, I would rather have a totem Barbarian that takes half on everything than a fighter that has a 1 higher AC than what my Barbarian does.
You forget though that the fighters, they can wear armor. You could straight up go
I'm aware.
plate mail and shield, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have higher AC than a Barbarian.
Yeah, but not by much.
You also don't get damage reduction when you do get hit. Also,
exactly.
I just had somebody say, also false. Human fighter is the most diverse class. God.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
But they're not wrong. They're not 100% wrong. They're still really low on my list because they're so boring.
They are.
They are.
Echo Knight is like the coolest thing they've gotten, and it didn't even come from Wizards of the Coast.
Wait, it
came from Matt Mercer. What
yes.
the fuck?
So what did you? I'm sorry. What did you put him in, Runifero?
9.
9. Sopo, you've been making some faces during all this. What'd you put fighter at?
I put fighter at 7.
Okay.
Okay,
no,
that's
Yeah, 7. Still lower than Barbarian, because I put Barbarian at 4. They're very new player friendly, which is pretty heavy for me. And they're very versatile when it comes to combat. I think the Barbarian and Fighter just do different things when it comes to combat. So, like, just say, like, the Barbarian's going to be a little tankier in the sense, damage reduction, health pool, total. But I think actually most of the Fighter stuff helps it out damage. Well, rage damage. I don't know how high that they're very similar.
That high, does it?
I've personally
it goes to, I believe, 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it starts at 2 level, then it's at 3 for a while, and then it's at 4 for like the last 5 or 6 levels.
Yeah, they get. But also, you think about if you just go champion fighter, even though it's boring as hell, that's a 19 through 20 crit chance, as well as like if you go even higher, 18 through 20. That's
crit fishing. Like they can definitely crit fish, but for me, in all honesty, it's just because they're just basically a barbarian that takes full damage instead of half.
I think role-playing as a barbarian would be more fun than role-playing as a fighter, and that's why barbarian's higher. And then
I disagree.
In the middle.
The reason I disagree with that is because fighters can roleplay as just a barbarian. You can just be a dumbass bandit who smashes things. But a barbarian can't play a veteran who's like been the commander of the guard for 10 years because they're too stupid.
I mean,
No
here's
one's
the
gonna
thing.
listen to them.
Again, though, we've already talked about this. It depends on the player.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
And
That's why
again,
roleplay is not as
Yeah,
heavily weighted.
that's the thing. Like a barbarian,
Uh-oh.
I would be pissed
What?
if somebody said that I can't play my barbarian the way that I want to. But I will say that the dumb barbarian trope is they're definitely pigeonholed into that, but they don't have to be.
Right.
Yeah. Like I think Lydia's playing a very fun barbarian.
Yeah, she's a very intelligent barbarian. She
Yeah.
tries to think about this, but in all honesty, it's kind of funny because she's one of the more reasonable people of the group, and you never expect to hear that when you're talking about a barbarian. Our warlock is the one that's like, I want chaos and I want people's hands.
Well, that's probably my fault, but
I mean, a little bit, yes. Also, do y'all see how Runifro keeps muting himself to talk shit about us to his chat?
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. I am 100% doing that. I'm like, oh my god, can you believe that they like the barbarian? I'm just teasing. Like,
I'm the only one who likes the barbarian that much.
if I were to list
barbarian's
as
fun
like,
for me.
if I were to
Oh, yeah,
list
that's
this as
true.
like things that I like to play, it'd be a completely different list.
Yeah,
But I'm taking everything in consideration. 'Cause
that's why
barbarian,
eventually I
like
want to do
play
a
them. I
tier
think
list.
they're fun. I think for a one shot they'd be a lot more fun than an entire campaign. Now that I'm in the middle of a campaign with a barbarian, I'm like, all right, if Bashumi could just kill this character so I can play something fun.
But he can't because you're
Rough.
barbarian.
But he can't because I'm a barbarian.
And I think
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
cool.
do get stuck. You do get stuck
Yeah.
like that.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, cool. This dragon's gonna land on me. It's gonna kill me, and I can roll something new. Oh no, it's fucking bludgeoning damage. I took only half of it. Shit.
well, that's like when one of the characters in Critical Role dropped off a cliff, got 300 points of bludgeoning damage, and the barbarian goes, yeah, if I raged before I hit the ground, I would still walk away with about 50 health points left. Like, barbarians are fucking strong AF.
Well, that's almost every class though when it comes to fall damage. Eventually, your health outweighs fall damage. That's why, as a DM, if you fall over like 200 feet, I'm sorry, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's just simple.
Well, that's why
what I do,
Mercer did the whole.
I thought that was like a
Yeah, well, that's why
Yeah,
Mercer just
it
said,
used to
I'm
be, I
gonna
think.
roll just fall damage, and it's not gonna hit at maximum. It's gonna keep going. And
Yeah,
I like
that's
that
fair.
personally, because
Yeah, that's a little better.
Yeah.
make dumb
Yeah.
choices and you should pay for it.
Yeah,
I
if you want to
like my
climb
dumb
on a dragon.
choices.
Yeah,
But
dumb
how-
choices are
hold on.
great.
Hold on. What about
They-
climbing
they
on a
haven't gotten me
dragon?
killed yet. Actually, what's really funny is one of my friends who's played at Barbarian with 14 int was actually one of the smartest. Teleported on top of on the back of a dragon, mid-flight, fell off, and the DM actually allowed them to live through that fall because of raging.
I mean,
I think it
again,
was raging
if-
and a couple other things.
how
but
high was the dragon again? I'm sorry, I'm
I
making sure.
don't recall. I don't
About
recall. I would have to
3.5 bloods in.
I hate you.
For a dragon,
Disadvantage.
that's not very much.
No.
That's
That's
no.
Gotham. Yeah.
The dragon needs to burn down an entire forest to try and get high.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I found the BBEG for my new campaign. It's gonna be great.
Oh, son of a
Is it gonna be a
bitch.
dragon?
Puff the magic dragon. I've got
We
this.
have already fought so many dragons. Can he just be an ally NPC, please?
Nope, Puff the magic dragon. I can't.
He's too high to be angry.
No, that's the thing. He's an accidental BBEG.
Oh, he's a Jar Jar Binks, basically.
Yeah, he's basically no. I'm gonna look at it as more
As
of
I
a
say, his stash
Snoop
is
Dogg of
empty.
dragons.
And he's got the munchies.
Yes.
We're just eating everything.
Yeah, he's
The
eating all the
munchies.
townspeople.
Someone touches him with cure poison, and he's fine.
Yeah,
he's
he's
fine.
great. He's actually
You win.
quite wonderful to be around.
You win the game
Quite
now.
a good person. It's so funny.
I love it.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Are we ready to move on, or we want to stay
Yeah,
on fighter a
because
little bit?
I mean, eventually, we're gonna have to move on because I get the feeling a lot of
Yeah.
we've ranked a lot of these very close to each other, so we're gonna have to fight our way through to.
Oh, don't
Proper
worry.
Picking
We're getting
numerical
close.
values for
Yeah.
all of them.
It's
Well,
fine.
here's
We're
the
good.
elephant. Here's the elephant in the room. We can quickly go through this one. Monk.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Soap.
Honorable mention.
Oh my god!
Unanimous.
It's
Damn, we
unanimous.
dumpstered on the freaking poor monk.
So-
and the reason why
Yeah.
the monk is, oh my god, this class everybody else does something better. Monks hit a lot, so does the fighter, and they hit harder. Oh well, they don't role play very well. They're literally the same problem with the cleric, but worse, because like they're just a temple monk. You're a martial artist. You're peaceful. That's all you got. And then their versatility. They're combatants. They can heal a little bit. That's why they're not the worst in versatility. They can heal with the Way of Mercy. That's a really cool monk.
Yeah, Tranquility, I think. Is what
It
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
I think so. But there's.
Mercy, I think, was the UA version.
Oh no, they put Mercy into Tasha's.
Oh, I thought it was called Tranquility.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I'll have to look that up later. But yeah, the last two subclasses that got the Astral Self and the Tranquility / Mercy, those two are really cool
maybe I'm wrong.
subclasses.
Yeah.
If they keep going in that direction with the monk, I could see it getting up higher.
Yeah.
But right now, I cannot rank them very high.
Yeah, it's Mercy. I'm sorry, you're right. It was probably Tranquility is what the UA version was.
For me,
Yeah, you're good.
Monk is really good level 1 through 4. It's got like the snare missile thing. It's got a lot of movement. Movement never is really a problem in 5e, let's be honest, but they get a fuck ton of speed. Like, there's a lot of things that the monk has going for it, level 1 through 4. And then as soon as you hit level 5, and all these classes start getting these different boons and stuff like that, the monk immediately begins to plummet while everything else is escalating.
I'm about to put Renifero's Twitch like on volume so I can hear when he's talking us.
Yeah.
I'm not talking. I'm just talking to my chat because they love me.
So-
Eh.
I think Monk is still a lot of fun to play. There's a lot of little things you could do. They're also one of the few classes I think that actually, depending on what you pick, can get like their fist as magical weapons, which is
Yeah.
really
I
fun,
follow
which
them,
is really
that's fine.
powerful.
Yep.
It's just, again, there's but yeah, there is still some things that monks can do that are fun besides just magical weapons. They can also have that like ability to teleport in shadows and such with that other
Good
one of their
answer,
other subclasses. But it's, again, as you said, there's other classes that can do other things that technically could be better. And I want to say I'm not shitting on monks or like roleplay wise is saying like, oh yeah, monks have to be like this or bards have to be
Right.
like this. It never has to be like that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Especially since I want to play a bard that doesn't woo people. I want to play a bard that fucking terrifies you.
My bard
I want to play a bard that
is
scares you.
my bard is a virgin who has never even kissed a girl, and any girl that makes an advance on him, he is so innocent, he has no fucking idea what's happening.
I still want to play a dwarf bard that's balding and doesn't grow facial hair out. He took the Eldritch Blast evocation, and he's kind of chunky, and he goes around making people laugh a lot. He's got a real raspy voice like this.
All right,
It's Danny DeVito.
I was
want
going to say,
Danny DeVito.
where's the
He's a
punchline?
paladin. He's our Danny Devotion.
Danny
paladin.
Devotion. All hail.
Or cleric. I'm not super clear. But back to monk. I think they are the least new player friendly for a martial class.
Yeah.
Because they have the key resource, which maintaining an extra like resource like that can be a little daunting. They have all their key abilities like right away. Like as a bonus action, you can do this, this, or this. You can attack. But if you spend a key point on your bonus action, you can attack twice. But roleplay wise, I think they're probably more fun than cleric.
I can see that.
and
It
roleplay wise, they're also like very tied into
yeah.
their subclass.
Well, and it also, in all
Right.
honesty, you have, I think, about, as a monk, I want to say there's like 5 different backgrounds that you can take. Depending on which background you pick is obviously going to decide how you act. I do agree that to an extent, they do get the whole pigeonhole, like, yes, I live in a temple, I'm a good person. But then you get some characters that play a monk, and it's like, no, I'm probably going to be an asshole. But at least I can fight with the best of them. It all depends on what you end up picking. But for me, it's just the fact that after level 5, everything does a better job than what a monk does.
One thing I would absolutely love to see them do for the monk is to give them a subclass that completely detaches them from the monastery, from not from key, but from like the monastery and like religious side. Make it a tavern brawler. Make them strength based, not dex based.
Yeah.
Not wisdom based either. Like get rid of the wisdom part of it. That's this subclass's special thing. and
Like
that they're
a-
just a tavern brawler.
a
Didn't they-
grappler and stuff.
Or a grappler, yes, because grapple is so underutilized in 5e. If they made an actual monk subclass that is just bitching at grappling, that'd be cool as shit.
Is there a
Yeah.
monk subclass that's Drunken Fist, or is that Fighter?
Yes.
So
think it's
does
Drunken
the
Fist.
Drunken Fist still go off Dex?
I believe so.
Really?
Because it's based off of Jackie Chan's Drunken Fist
Yeah,
style.
I get that. I figured that it would have gone more off of strength at that point, but it's
I think you
fine.
can choose.
Yeah, because that does. I agree. Like monks, if they had a bit more versatility with things, they would be much higher up on my list. They just, like I said, every other class does it so much better than them, and I feel so bad for shitting on the monks.
And honestly, for me, like Monk is my highest rated honorable mention.
Mm.
That's fair. That's 100%.
Yeah,
I
same.
think each subclass has like one or two like features that is cool, but they all have like features that are kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
And that's Monk's problem.
Monk is the bottom of my honorable mention, but as soon as you see who the other honorable mention is from me, you'll understand why.
I'm so curious.
And I definitely I
Uh,
want to play a monk one day. I did the same exact thing with Ranger. I was like, you know what? I've always talked shit about Rangers. I'm gonna give one a try. And I'm gonna be honest, Kirak is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
that I've ever
honestly,
played.
because of Tasha's and the way that you've been playing Kirak, that's why Rangers are actually in the top 10.
Tasha's fix them.
Yeah,
Yep.
if this were pre-Tasha's,
Tasha's.
Rangers would have immediately been in the honorable mention trash can.
I don't know which one would have been worse, Monk or Ranger. To be honest, it would have been. Actually, I think Ranger would have been the worst. To be
Yeah,
honest, if we went
well,
off base players
No,
handbook.
I still would have
Mhm.
probably done Monk lower.
Ugh.
No,
I
you'd
mean,
be wrong.
We don't have to talk about it because here's the thing. It's not a problem anymore. They've
Yeah, that's
been
true.
fixed.
That's true. So we can move on then. We've kind of unfortunately dumpstered on Monk. Here's what we're going to say. Wizards of the Coast, please give them the Ranger treatment. Make them just a little bit better and get them in the top
Yes,
10
all
list.
65 of my, or 85 of my subscribers watch this video and tag Wizards of the Coast.
Yep,
Please.
yep,
Tell them just
absolutely.
to do a little bit more.
Yeah,
Just
it's
a
fine.
little
Yeah.
bit more. You know, a small stone can cause an avalanche or something like that.
I'm pretty
That's
sure it's a
something. I
ripple
feel like
effect,
that's
but
I think that's a saying. But anyways, we can now move on from the dumpster fire of Monk and go to one that I'm pretty sure we're all going to put pretty high, the Paladin.
Well, you already know all my high ones, so
Paladin is next.
I'll go first then. Paladin is actually number 1 for me. Because
Wow.
they have typically a very high charisma, so they are great in roleplay opportunities. They are walking tanks that can take a fuck ton of hits, because chances are you're not going to get past their armor class. You can also heal with them. You can deal a boatload of damage with them. You can haste yourself. There's a lot of different options that are available with the Paladin class. That is why this particular melee fighter, spellcaster, etc., they can do everything. So that's why they're number 1 for me. If this were 3-5, where you had to play a lawful stupid paladin, then yeah, they would probably be really fucking low on the list. But
Yeah.
5e fixed a lot of things for the paladin, so that's why they're in the number 1 spot for me.
That's fair.
That's how you know that I took this list seriously, because Bard wasn't number 1.
how dare you?
I was
I mean-
surprised you didn't have Bard at number 1, to be honest.
I
I'll
almost
go ahead
did,
and-
but
I'll go ahead and give the counterpoint. I'm pretty sure I have the Paladin at the lowest. I put them at 8.
oh,
You okay?
The reason being is their combat is very, very strong. Let's not doubt that. Their roleplay, they're middle of the pack. There's nothing too special about them that stands out. Like, anybody can be a paladin, take an oath, and go and do the thing. That's really cool. They kind of have like the almost like Hercules hero class, where they're like, I'm gonna go fight for my country or whatever. That's really cool. Versatility, they're not as versatile as you think they are. They can heal a little bit. They have a very limited amount of pool, and let's be honest, it usually goes directly on them because they're in melee. They have very few spells, and their usual purpose is to tank and DPS, just like the barbarian.
No
Yeah.
cantrips.
No cantrips at
No,
all
they
either.
don't get cantrips.
yeah.
No,
and
they do not.
That's the thing. I get what you're saying. For me though, especially if I'm playing a cleric and I'm being pigeonholed as the heal bot, having one less person that I have to worry about because they have 100 hit points for lay on hands and can just go ahead and bring themselves back up to full.
Paladin's
That's
also a
great.
D10.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
speaking of cleric though, I have seen, and I don't know all the points of it, so we're not going to go through it right now, but I've seen a reasonable argument online why the paladin should just be a subclass of cleric. They do very similar things. Clerics can do exactly what they can do.
To a degree, yes, but that's a conversation for another day.
I have Paladin at 9.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
wow. I should have let you lead. I didn't know.
For that exact reason, pretty much is. I'm not going to say that the cleric can do anything that the paladin can do better, but I feel like basically one's like spellcaster churchy guy, melee churchy guy. 'Cause they
Yeah.
both like, no, undead are not cool. You know, they both have that same feature. It's a little different, but the same. They smite, and then cleric does everything else they do.
Yeah, but I think the smite definitely does help, but the fact that they are able to wait and see if they get a nat 20 before they add that on is dumb, but it makes
Mhm.
them really fucking powerful. That
Yeah,
again, that's
they're
why
very
I ranked it as
strong,
high as I
yeah.
did because
That's
they're pretty versatile in my opinion.
they're definitely a lot more powerful combat wise than the cleric, but the cleric has a lot more options in my opinion. But we haven't heard from Rhino yet. Where did you put it at?
I put Paladin at number 5. I still think they're really fun. They could be really fun roleplay wise too. You don't have to like. Again, there's another like that ideal thing too. You don't have to be again religious, not anything like that. You can just follow ideals, I believe, with paladins
Right.
as well
Yeah,
for
yeah,
roleplay wise.
that's the real thing. Is
Yeah.
I say
Yeah.
churchy, but it's like my oath. You know,
Your
God,
oath, your
my
idea.
oath,
But I believe
you
I can't
know.
remember what Oathbreaker is about because I was just reminded of them.
They break
Would you-
their oath basically.
Yeah.
So they're like,
Oh, okay, so they're like they're against what they were learning before and now just do something else.
Yeah,
they used to be
basically.
blackguards. Basically, like, say they were a knight, were like, I'm going to protect the king, but then they realize the king's a bag and they go kill the king. Well, you're now an oathbreaker.
Oh, I
though
like
you
that
were
idea actually.
even though you technically were still in the right, the king was a bag. You still broke your oath, so you still have to either become oathbreaker or you're just now a fighter, basically.
Yeah,
See, and that's the
Oh, and that's-
Oathbreaker and 5e save the Paladin. If it weren't for that, Paladin would have probably be
You
in
know
the
what?
honorable mentions.
I'll have to say Paladin with Oathbreaker now just sounds like a lot more fun than just your basic Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
So
I
that's
mean,
why
Paladin
it's
is
number
kind of-
5. It's still good. It's still fun.
Yep.
I didn't even realize because I forgot Paladins get a fighting style, which is also just really cool.
do.
yeah.
Barbarians should get that. I understand why they don't, but I think they should
I
personally.
do say they might become a little too powerful.
Yeah.
That's true. That
yeah.
I like a little more flavor. Like eating playing a barbarian to me is like eating bread. Nothing there.
I want like playing my kobold paladin. Was probably one of my favorite characters, right behind my spore druid. Like it's a
I gotta
fun
play as-
class and stuff. Renifero's over here.
Yeah,
talking my kobold
talking us
paladin.
again. He goes, "Have you ever heard of a Kobold Paladin? That is the worst idea I've ever heard."
Not anymore. Not anymore. Tasha's fixed all that problem where you can say, "Hey, I'm a kobold, but I still have an 18 strength because you, that's why."
I built it before Tasha. Or did no, maybe not. But I just the +2 dex. That's all the kobold had at the time or whatever. But my favorite part of my particular oath paladin is I had counter spell. So it was like,
Oh no, that's gross.
Fucking
That's
hate
disgusting.
that
Why?
spell so much.
So your DM's like, haha, I counterspell your counterspell there, wizard. And you're like, oh really, bitch?
so I went like I took like the parry fighting style where I could protect someone nearby. So I was really like, you're not doing what you were doing. You're doing what I'm telling you that you're doing. So counter spell, aura stuff.
You were a blue paladin.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were in Magic the Gathering, you would have been a blue card paladin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fuck your counterspell.
Fuck your
my God.
counterspell.
Counterspell a counterspell
I
should be a
still-
wild magic surge. Oh my god, that would be incredible.
I still
would-
wake up in a cold sweat hearing the words counterspell and banishment.
It's my fault. It's
It
it's
is.
1,000%
It
my
is
fault.
1000% your fault. And then when it
And then I
wasn't you,
inspired-
it was Poe.
I inspired another player to switch over from a rogue, what was he, rogue mage hybrid or mogue wizard, mogue.
Moke, yeah, God
Moke.
blood.
Anyway, yes, I encouraged him to go to wizard, Not only any wizard, but a divination wizard. So
Which
Oh yeah.
we're gonna talk about
Um,
that when we get to wizard.
there were so
Yeah.
many. Actually, every time Bricker wanted to do something.
Yeah, well, and again, that's because we were playing it wrong, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. We got any other things to say about Paladin or good friend? I thought they were going to be higher. I'll be honest with you.
I
I
probably human
if
being.
it wasn't for my
things that matter.
boneheadedness,
Yeah, like I said, I made the case as to why I felt that they were as high as they were. Granted, it's mostly because of Aerith being the paladin that
Mhm.
I last saw in action. That's why I gave it the number 1 spot.
Let's be honest. He was playing with a UA Paladin. He was playing the UA
True.
Paladin of Glory, where if he used his what is it called, Channel Divinity, he was allowed to crit fish with a 19 and 20. They never should have put that as a thing for that, and haste as well.
Now-
They never should have done that.
I know
which is
for a
because that was a
fact
mistake.
that Aerith is currently in my chat, so if you need to go talk Ronifero for a few minutes, he is online currently.
No,
He is
it's nothing
currently
against
streaming.
him. It is nothing against
No, it's
the player.
how it
The
was
player
written,
was playing
yeah.
a really cool class, which it was really cool, but it was not. It wasn't released yet. And
Yeah.
you let me play Changelings, which was UA as well. It's just UA is always stronger. That's why you
Changelings
probably
is
put it so
cool.
high. What
Yeah,
is?
Changeling is just cool.
yeah,
Oh,
I
Changelings.
love
They're
I
playing
so
love
them.
it.
cool.
Yeah, they're very cool. This is
Hexadins.
the first